All right, so we're going to begin. So welcome, welcome. And let's go ahead, rub your palms together and then just bring them to the center of your chest. Inhale deeply. And exhale. Inhale deeply. And exhale. Let's begin with 3 ohms. Inhale deeply. Om. Om. Beautiful. All right. So welcome. Let's why don't we start with a little chanting since we're in the theme of Kirtan, and we'll just sing. This is a new one, a little chant to Shiva. Okay, I'll go ahead and type this in. Hey Shiva Shankara, Shankara. Hey Maheshwara. And then Hara Hara Mahadev. Om Namah Shivaya. Yes, Om Namah Shivaya. Okay, here we go. And if you're able to, put your video on and let's sing together, okay? Hey Shiva Shankara, Hey Maheshwara, 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 Hey Shiva Shankara. Hey Maheshwara, Hey Shiva Shankara, Hey Maheshwara. Hara Hara Mahadev, Hara Hara Mahadev, Hara Hara Mahadev, Hara Hara Mahadev. All together now. Hara Hara Mahadev, Hara Hara Mahadev, Hara Hara Mahadev, Hara Hara Mahadev. Om Namah Shivaya, 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 Om Namah Shivaya. All together. Om Namah Shivaya, 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 Om Namah Shivaya. Hara Hara Mahadev, Hara Hara Mahadev, Hara Mahadev. Om Namah Shivaya. All right. Beautiful. It's always good to just start with a little bit of music, a little bit of chanting as we dive into this journey of Kirtan. So I just want to give you a little bit of a journey and background. So first of all, just in case you're completely new to me, my name is Ananda Das, and I have been a touring Kirtan artist and mantra musician, heart song musician since 2011, really. And I recently created something called the Modern Bhakti Yoga Academy, and it's just a work in progress. I have some online courses, and I'm really just dreaming up how to support more and more people with singing and chanting and all the devotional practices that just really just bring so much meaning to our life. And I know for myself, just a little background, that I started, first as a musician, and, I had bands in high school and then college, and but ultimately there was just something so much deeper that I was looking for with music. And when I started getting into my yoga practice at the University of Oregon, and I was doing Kundalini yoga, and I got so inspired by it. I was just like transformed, and I heard about this thing called the Summer Solstice Gathering, and it was in New Mexico. It's this big yoga gathering with over 2,000 people, yogis that come together. And as I went there, and I remember the first time I really experienced group chanting and kirtan. And really, it was like at 5 a.m. So if you know the Kundalini Yoga sadhana practice, you get up at 3-ish in the morning to get to the 4 o'clock yoga practice. And then from 5 to 6, we did 5 to 6 in the morning, we did chanting, and there's a prescribed mantra practices. And then, on top of that, we had all these incredible, beautiful musicians there that were serenading us, like the likes of Snatam Kaur and Mirabai Seba, Narinjan, Jai Jagdish, all the big names, right? They're all there. And at some point, even myself and Jai Lakshmi actually even got to go there and share mantras and the sadhanas. We actually came out with an album. You might have known this album, the Kundalini Morning Chants. So we created a whole sadhana album for that. And it was just so profound to experience the power of this, thousands, like 2,000 people chanting, like just having this incredible unified experience of chanting mantra. And when I started doing it, I was like, wow, okay, sold, game changer. This is what I want to do. I've been a musician, but I wanted way more impact and meaning for my practice. And so I was like, I'm going to start incorporating this. I want to start doing the morning sadhana. I want to start doing these chants, and I want to just really experience the transformation that was taking place. And once I started doing that, it was like game changer. Mantras just started. I just wanted to soak in as much mantra as possible. And as some of you probably know, in 2010, I met Jai Lakshmi, and we started doing albums together, and we started doing Kirtan albums together, and we started touring, and we just started, the ignition had happened, and we were super inspired, and we just started putting out albums. We started touring, and we were at a point we were doing 100 to 200 events per year. We were coming out with 1 to 2 albums every year. It was just, a phenomenal time of just creativity, devotion, and offering, and dropping into this bhakti yoga practice, this kirtan practice that completely changed my life. And, I share this with you all because no matter where you are on this stage, whether you're just starting or you've been doing music, it's like to bring in kirtan and bring in mantra practice into your life is just so profound. It brings so much meaning to your life. And then not only that, if that's, if you're just wanting to do it for yourself, that's great. And then if you're feeling inspired to gather people, I mean, it's so transformational to get together with people and inspire people to chant, and you will feel so fulfilled. There's just the deepest fulfillment there. That's just like, wow, here we are. We're all coming together in this unified field experience. It's so beautiful. With that said, as you might know about exploring your voice and chanting and journeying into the Kirtan experience, you are going to face your insecurities. You're going to face your self-doubt. You're going to face your worthiness of like, well, who am I? You know, I'll tell a story. I was in India a few years back, and here I am. I've been doing yoga for over 10 years, and I've been very diligent and dedicated. And I'm thinking, gosh, I thought for being someone in the West, I've been diving in for a while, and I had a lot to share with people. And when I went to India, I literally felt like an infant. I literally felt like most 5 and 6 year olds on the streets knew more about mantra and yoga and all this practice than I did. I was like, who am I to be sharing this with all these people? Like, who am I? Like, I literally am an infant in this tradition. And I had to work through that. I had to just trust. I was like, I have to trust that for some reason my soul resonated with this mantra and kirtan practice, the yoga practice, and inspired me to go out there and share it with the world and meet someone like Jaya Lakshmi, who had already had a long-standing career doing kirtan, and that we would fuse together and share all this mantra music and kirtan in the world, and to inspire people. Because ultimately, it's not about so much how much you know, right, and what you've done. It's where's your heart in the practice, and what would you like to do? Are you inspiring your own personal devotion, and then also inspiring with others, right? And so then the question is, okay, well, what is Kirtan? Kirtan is the congregational, the coming together of chanting, of singing these mantras, call and response. Kirtan is the call and response. Bhajan is typically like the just singing of devotional hymns, and that can be in Sanskrit, that can be in Gurbani, it could be in English, it could be in all these different languages that there are. So, but Kirtan took such a strong hold because it's so easy. You can keep it simplified. You can just chant the same mantra over and over and over again. You can do it kind of collectively and build it up, or you can do it more call and response. So you could be the leader, and then other people call, and you do the call and they do the response, or you do it all together and you just build the energy together. Okay, so that's really powerful. So if you wanted to just say, hey, I just want to bring people together and I want to sing with everybody. I don't want to necessarily be the leader. I just want to inspire singing together. I was like, okay, let's do that. That's more like communal kirtan. And then there's more like okay, I'm going to lead and then you guys follow and we're going to lead it that way. And there's benefits to both, right? So if you do, if you're leading and you're guiding, you can set up more of the pace. And so typically with kirtan, you're going to start slower and then you're going to build it up. And I really emphasize this in my teachings with kirtan. You really want to start at a slow pace. You can start at a pretty entry level invitation. The idea is like with kirtan, it's like you start and you want to really create a bhav, the mood of bringing in the energy, not only bringing in the devotion for yourself, but bringing in everybody else's like inner space and opening. Everybody needs to feel safe. You have to try to create a safe container for yourself, and then a safe container for everybody else. This is crucial because guess what's one of the scariest things for humans to do on this planet? Sing. Ah, ah. So scary. surreal. I work with people all the time now, and it's like, what is the biggest block? Oh my gosh, I don't want to, like, I'm so scared to express myself. I'm so scared to sing. I'm so scared to really embody and power my voice and the power of it. And then on top of that, oh my gosh, mantra, like, oh my gosh, am I pronouncing it right? When should I use the mantra? Like, which one, which deity or which mantra? Oh my gosh, what should I do? And all these doubts come into our minds, right? And like insecurities, like, oh my gosh. So we have to cultivate a safe container for ourselves and a supportive, nurturing container for ourselves and for others. And the first step of that is when we approach Kirtan, we approach it from this place of devotion and reverence, and knowing that we're singing to our heart and soul first and foremost. This is a practice for you. Okay? You have to connect with your voice. You have to connect with your heart and connect with the mantra. And maybe if there's a deity that you associate with it to or is associated with it, then you connect with them. But that's your internal practice. And from there, you overflow. You overflow. If you're going to be sharing it with other people, you first are filling that place from yourself, and then you're overflowing. And this is a crucial thing, because if not, you're just kind of like, you're like putting it out and without depth of being. And then there's a certain degree it feels a little empty, right? Maybe you've experienced Kirtan with that kind of this empty feeling. You're like, just feels like it needs a little something else. And most likely that's just based on the person leading, just like needing to drop deeper into themselves and filling themselves from that place and from that devotional place, then sharing it, inspiring. Okay? So this is a crucial piece, I feel like, that needs to be addressed as you journey into your Kirtan, is like establish your own personal practice. Do it and try to do it every day. Every day. Some way or another. You can be singing along with recordings, or you have your musical instrument that you've been working on, you develop, but chant every day. Try to get a place where you're chanting every day. And on top of that, create a sacred container. Create a sacred space that you're going to be chanting every day. And even more ideal is that you chant every day at the same time. Yeah, so all those are really key things, because then you start anchoring into the mind and into a routine. You're like, okay, this is what I'm going to do every day. And you start anchoring. So then chanting becomes your sadhana. It becomes your daily discipline. It becomes your practice. From that place, if you can start really anchoring that, then you're ready to maybe, share it with other people. And start developing. So there's a couple key things right? So you got to develop not only your familiarity with your voice, your familiarity with the mantra and your heart and your devotion, but then of course you're going to need to develop and take time to develop your instrument if that's what you choose, whether it's a harmonium, guitar, piano, whatever you feel inspired to share. And from that point, then when you feel like you're starting to gain that confidence to want to share, then just start small. Start with a friend. Start with someone you do yoga with or something like that. Start with something small. Create a little potluck and say, hey, we're going to have a little potluck and then we're going to sing together. And this doesn't even have to be like anything fancy. You could say, look, I don't even play anything right now. I'm just going to put on some music and we're going to chant. We're going to chant to Ananda Das. We're going to chant to Jai Lakshmi and Ananda, right? Or we're going to chant to Krishna Das, or we're going to chant to Snadam or Deva or whoever it might be, right? Your favorite artist. And start that, change the psyche of like, hey, I'm going to start this concept of like really organizing communal singing. Communal gatherings to really get people singing. And from there, kind of just start expanding. Maybe you're like, hey, this was so fun. Try once. And then I was like, hey, that was so fun. You guys want to do it once a month, maybe once a week. If people are really gung-ho, they're like, hey, let's do it once a week. Let's do it once a month. Let's do a potluck. Let's get together at the house. Simple. Then you start building up, and you got to build your confidence. So the confidence building is crucial, because if you're starting to build this all up, you want to nurture your confidence. And again, cultivate that safe container for you and safe container for others. And as you develop that, then you can start growing out and opening it up to more and more people in the community, in Kirtan and community. And just kind of see what blossoms. I think at that point you just have to listen to your guidance. Maybe some of you just are more inspired to start maybe recording music. Who knows? And sharing it that way. I know when when I first met Jai Lakshmi, she was much more gung-ho about just recording music and getting it out there for recording. And some artists are like that, and I was more like, wait a second, we're going to record music. We want to go play for people. Let's go tour. Let's go share it with people. But everyone's different. Some people just want to do that. Maybe you just want to sing in your home. Maybe you just want to develop it more as your own personal practice. And getting back to, I know someone asked about the personal practice, and I think this is a really great question. Developing as your personal practice. I personally love it as a finale, typically as a finale. But I love to do chanting through my yoga practice, whether it's stretching or whatever you might want to do. If you're doing kriyas, like I love incorporating chanting through that. And, as is taught in the Kundalini Yoga tradition, the Kirtan and mantra practice can be part of your meditation. The singing can be part of your meditation, where you're just sitting and you just sing and you just chant and you just really bring that practice into your day-to-day, sadhana. Or if you like to do more of a silent meditation, or if you do more of your own personal practice in some other way, then ending the practice with a kirtan is fantastic, or multiple songs, and getting into that devotional space, because you've done all the work, you've done the energy work, you've done the physical work, maybe of practicing, and you're clearing your body, you're opening up your body, you're opening up your lungs. Maybe you do some breath practices to open up your lungs, because that's always really crucial to get your singing, open up more. You clear your energy, you clear your psychic space, so that you can create more of a channel for yourself to then be in that devotional mood. And from that place, then you share, and you fill yourself up, and you're always then doing your best to just sing to the divine, whatever that is. That can be singing to your heart, you can sing to God, singing to Mother Earth, singing to deities, whatever it feels, that inspiration that comes to you, and cultivating that. I personally, I'm a huge fan of going out and singing on hikes, going for sunsets, or singing to the trees, or singing to, on the river or the lakes or whatever, the ocean. I've wrote many a song on the ocean, to sunsets, Angsang Wahiguru was a sunset, Breathe. That was a song that I was singing on the beach, calling us home. I'm on the red rocks on a hike, on and on and on. So bow to you. Bow to you was in front of an altar. I just sitting in front of an altar, and bow to you came right through. So different places, songs are going to come through if you're in that creative mode. But the reality is, you create that space for yourself to then have that inspiration to chant. Yeah. So, that's I feel like that's absolutely crucial. And then, as you develop it on your own, there's always the exploration of mantra, and which ones to choose, how to go about choosing it, and what. And so there's quite a bit to learn there, in a sense, because one is finding the mantras or exploring mantras, and some of you, depending on your tradition that you're in, Some of you might just go focus more on specific mantras for specific reasons. So like pretty much all the mantras can be functional. Like, okay, I'm going to do a chant because I need some courage. You know, I'm going to do a Durga chant for courage, or I'm going to do, you know, I'm going to do an Adi Shakti mantra because I just need some power. I need some Shakti. I need some vibrancy, you know, or I'm going to do a Lakshmi chant for prosperity and abundance. So I'm going to look up some chants, or maybe I've heard some chants and I want to take those and use those. On and on. So it's part of that is the exploration of like how to find the chants, right? And which ones to use when. That process is really about creating a relationship with the mantra and with the deities. And that takes the cultivation. That's bhakti. That is the discipline and the devotion, the dedication to cultivating that practice of like, okay, I'm going to get to know this mantra. I want to embody this mantra. I want it to be part of my being. So then all of a sudden, like when I'm chanting this mantra, it's like, it's imbued within my being, right? And then all of a sudden you have this potency with a mantra. It's not just some kind of a little bit superficial or it doesn't have quite that depth. It's like you want to have it so that that mantra has penetrated your whole being. You're just like, wow, this mantra is just one with me. And when you've cultivated that, wow, there's depth and there's power to that. And there's healing to that. There's transformation to that. And that takes discipline. That's where I'm talking about with sadhana. That's the dedication. Like, okay, let's choose a mantra. Let's choose a deity. Let's choose a practice to really cultivate that too. Okay, so for example, say let's say Hanuman. Okay, so maybe we are struggling with finding ourselves. Maybe we're struggling with getting to know who we really are in this greater service to humanity, to the earth, to the greater good. And now Hanuman represents the great remembering. He's like through the whole story, he's like remembering who he is, right? And so as he's remembering who he is, he remembers that he's in service to Sita and Ram. Then this is representing the masculine and the feminine, the divine masculine and feminine, the noblest virtues. So we are cultivating, as we chant to Hanuman, remembering that we're in this place of service, of humility, of love, and remembering that we have had all these gifts that we've been cultivating, that have cultivated through lifetimes, and now we're just opening up to like, how do I serve? How do I serve this in the world? Right? So then you might want to learn a Hanuman chant. Om Hum Hanumate Namaha. Right? Let's sing a little. While we're at it, let's just chant a little, chant Hanuman. Let's do Om Shri Hanumate Namaha. Okay? Let's see. Om Shri Hanumate Namaha. Om Shri Hanumate Namaha. Om Shri Hanumate Namaha. Om Shri Hanumate sing along now. Come on. Last one. Om Shri Hanumate Namaha. 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 Yeah, beautiful. All right, so I made that up right now. Just right here on the spot. Just put together 3 chords and an emotion, so we tap into that emotion that we might be feeling, or emotions that we might be feeling, and we channel that into a mantra, into a melody, and we create. That's all it is. It's as simple as that. Just like, wow, okay, I'm feeling this. Maybe I'm feeling these certain qualities that Hanuman represents. So like, oh, I should sing to Hanuman. I'm feeling a little lost. I'm feeling confused. I'm feeling like I'm more purpose. I want to be of service. Oh, let's chant to Hanuman. Okay, great. And then I, find a Hanuman chant. Or same thing, like say we're with Durga. Maybe I'm just feeling like I got a lot of fear that I'm dealing with. I need some courage. I need to overcome just all the feelings of insecurity maybe. And so, then you find a chant to Durga. And then you start cultivating that. So that's some basics, transference of emotion to devotion. That's just key. That's going to amplify the depth and the potency of what you're offering, whether it's for yourself or for others. It's like how to transfer that emotionality, because that's what we're dealing with here as humans. So much emotion. Right? Anybody feeling a little bit overwhelmed at times by your emotion? So Kirtan is that practice of channeling that emotion into devotion, like offering it back. Oh God, I got so much emotion, whatever it is. I'm sad, I'm angry, I'm frustrated. Maybe you're frustrated. Maybe you need to chant to Shiva, right? Like maybe you just really need to get that frustration out. And so you Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, and you get it out, and it's passionate. You got a passionate kirtan. Shiva, 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 Shambho, Shiva, 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 Shambho. You're banging on a drum, whatever it is. You're rocking out on the harmonium, and it's just for you. This is just for you. And then maybe you get together with some people and you're like, wow, maybe we can all just really get ecstatic in this way and kind of express some of our frustration, some of our disappointment. Shiva's all about disappointment, of disillusion, death. Maybe we're going to go through a grieving process and we use Shiva as that, or if maybe we're from the Kundalini yoga tradition, and you want, you frustration. Maybe we do Apsahai Hoa. That's a powerful one for relieving anger. What other one? Maybe we do an Akal chant for someone maybe who has passed, and we can go really into that depth of the devotion of Akal. So, part of it is it's exploration of like, wow, there's a lot of mantras out there. Okay, so I've got to explore mantras, and I've got to explore meaning of the mantra, and I've got to explore the deities, if that's what you so choose, because as you explore the deities in the archetype, you get to know what they represent. And then when you're having your own emotional space, you're like, oh, I could chant to Kali because I'm feeling like everything is falling apart right now, and I would love to just have some deep compassion or heartfelt compassion and just take it all away, because that's what I'm experiencing right now, and I need to grieve this out, like just get it out. Or or maybe I'm feeling stuck, Like, I just like, man, what's going on? I'm feeling stuck in my life, or I'm stuck in my projects with what I'm trying to do. Like, what should I chant, or who should? Oh, I know. Isn't Ganesh? Ganesh is like the remover of obstacles. So wait, maybe I should chant to Ganesh, because that energy of Ganesh removes obstacles. Okay, so I'll chant. I'll find a Ganesh chant, and then I'll start chanting Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha or Ganesha Sharanam, on and on and on. And I'll just start cultivating that. It can be monotone, it could be out loud, it could be a musical, whatever it is, you cultivate that, right? Maybe if you're in the Kundalini tradition, you have the remove obstacles as Ad Sach, Jugad Sach, Heavy Sach, Nanako Hosibi Sach, yeah? These mantras to remove obstacles. So here we are. We're in this process of learning. We're process of incorporating how to take all this in. And, I share all this with you all because, there's a lot to it, obviously, and I don't want to overwhelm you. But I also want to really emphasize there's a simplicity to this all. There's a simplicity, and it's literally like, what are you feeling? How do you transfer those emotions into devotion? How can I, what mantra might be associated with that? Maybe a deity that I want to associate with. How do I create a space and a time to really create that container for myself or for others? And then how do I find that place to dedicate myself daily to it and then cultivate it and build from there? Right? And that's like the stepping stones. This is like the Kirtan 101. That's what we're really addressing here. Those are some key fundamentals, right? Like, those are key fundamentals to really developing what's next for you. And then from there, diligently learning more, playing more. Maybe you get into recording, maybe you get into sharing it with others, and and just see how it blossoms for you. And it's a ongoing dedication. It never ends. The learning never ends. The practice never ends. The musicality never ends. I'm learning so much every day, and that will never stop. And so it's really important to take this as a life practice. Like, this is like the practice of Kirtan, the practice of Bhakti Yoga is like this ongoing practice that you'll just keep going in and in and in and in and in, right? So with that said, I know that it's challenging. We have all the fears, we have the insecurities, the overwhelm that comes up. And so what I would love to do now is really offer you more support. And I know that this can be challenging. And so what I wanted to do is just create a few little, a space to create some offerings for you. For one, in a very simple, basic way, I have a course called Kirtan Fundamentals. And we're going to go through, there's a bunch of different segments to the course. And it just leads you each step of the way to get a better understanding of the practice and how to cultivate it, and then also specific songs and how to play it. I have it specifically on the harmonium, like how to play it on the harmonium, and so then you can from there go and cultivate that practice and learn how to share it, learn the chords, learn the melodies, learn the mantras. And then you can just start practicing there if that's the basics, right? So that's one super simple Kirtan Fundamentals. If you want to sign up for that, I would love that. I'm going to send you out a little discount for doing that, for coming to this webinar and signing up for it. It's usually a $200 course, but for you guys, I'm going to give it at $108 for being here, and that's one step. The second step could be, if you want to go even deeper and more high touch, that I offer one-on-one privates with people. And so if you're wanting to dive deeper into your Kirtan practice and you feel like, hey, maybe working with Ananda would be really supportive for me on my journey, and just helping me like get more clarity in my vision and support, and maybe help with specific mantras or deities, or my voice, my musical practice, how to cultivate that. So that's another option, and you can just contact me. You could, after this is done, I'll send you a follow-up email, and you can reply to that and let me know that that's something that you would like to do. I like to try to make it as pretty affordable. I do a sliding scale donation between $100 to $200 per session. And then if you're into it, we do one session. And then if you want to do more sessions, then we do like 4 packs. Because ideally, like I want to commit a little bit more for investing. It's just like going deeper into it. If that's another option that I would love to offer you is September 25th through October 1st, I'm doing an in-person Kirtan and Bhakti training in the incredible Sedona, Arizona, where I am right now. And we are going to gather with a group of people, and we are going to do yoga practices in the morning to deities for that embodiment practice. Then we're going to do morning singing and vocalizing sessions, because I know so much of the blocks and the exploration of what we need to do is explore this voice. How do we explore and open this voice up so that we can use our head voice? We can use our throat voice. We can use our chest voice. And we can use our navel voice. So that when we chant, say we can use Shiva, 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 Shambho, Shiva, 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 Shambho, right? Throat voice. Shiva, 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 Shambho, Shiva, 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 Shambho. Chest voice. Shiva, 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 Shambho, Shiva, 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 Shambho. Navel voice. Mahadeva Shambho, Mahadeva Shambho. Right? And you want access to all that, so that when you're singing, you're chanting, you have that ability. You want soft and sweet. You want to lure that energy in. You go with the head voice and the throat voice, but then you want more power. You want to convey that. You want to move energy. You want to express that heart and really move. You go to more in your chest and your navel, so that you can really have that power and impact. So, right? So voice, crucial. Then afternoon, we get together. We learn mantras. We learn about the bhakti practices, we learn about the deities, we learn different chants, and then we'll have groups of people and we'll get together and practice together, and we'll explore leading kirtans together in support of each other, right? So it's a nice supportive communal group. And then in the evenings we just chant. We just get together and chant. And that's going to be the format for 5 days. And so the whole idea is like, let's empower you to really take your practice to a whole nother level in group, in Sangha, and like really supported. And in Sedona, one of the most powerful and potent, beautiful places in the world. Yeah, and then just cater to, right? You'll have chefs and everything. And you'll just, what I truly feel is you'll just feel so empowered. You'll feel so inspired. And you'll just be like, yes, I'm ready to keep going. Okay, so that's all awesome. But there's another offer that I think is even better. And this is that we go into this signature Bhakti Kirtan program where we go for 3 months. We start at the September. We could even start earlier, really, if you talk to me and we could figure it out. But we start ideally at that September training. And then for 3 months, we get together once a week and we are like diligent about the practices. We set up times, we set up space that we explore the voice, we explore mantra, we explore different deities, we explore how to gain in your confidence, we explore how to start either just building your practice on your own, or we start cultivating ways to bring together community and to really start that communal kirtan experience. And so for 3 months, we really commit to that. And that's my new most exciting project, because that's what I really wanted, for anybody who's really feeling the gung-ho of like, I'm going to be a kirtanwala. Like, I want to like really be anchoring this into my system and into my being, because I just know that this is it. This is my calling. This is what I want to be doing. Like I just know it in my blood. I know it in my heart and soul. That's like chanting is so profound for me. It's so impactful. It's what I want to be doing for myself, and then ultimately I want to be sharing it for others. So if that's you, then let's talk. Send me an email back and let's talk about this program and let's make it work for you, and really take it all in. So with that said, that signature program, I'm looking at a $5,000 price tag, which would include your training and Sedona. It would include my online courses, which I have a singing course and I have a Kirtan course, and I also have a course that Lakshmi and I did called Embodiment of the Divine. And Embodiment of the Divine is a course that goes over the 8 different deities, and we do yoga classes to them, and then we do philosophy and wisdom talks to them and learn mantras to them, and then we ultimately do a chant so it's a whole very comprehensive practice and process. So I wanted to give you the options, right? You have a very gentle entry level. You can just do an online course. You could work with me just more sporadically one-on-one. But what I really want to recommend to you all is to come to the training, come to the Sedona training and get like a whole nother level of empowerment. And if you're really that person who wants to be gung-ho about it, you're feeling like this is it for me, then do the signature program with me. Do it for 3 months, and by 3 months, you're going to be full-on Kirtanwala, no doubt. And I just want to give you a little bit of background, too, about what I've been doing with people. I've been working with people, particularly one-on-one, since about last summer. And it's been so profound to see people's changes with their voices. I mean, majority of what I've been working with people is voices, like really opening up their voices. But typically what happens is like they open up their voices and they want to connect with their devotion. And so then we explore mantra and we explore Kirtan, because ultimately you're like, we want to learn about Kirtan and devotion. And because that's like the most heartfelt and satisfying, experience, like, wow, to open up to what's called the bhav, the moods. And so we explore that devotion through mantra practice and then how to lead it, right? How to lead Kirtan, because then it gets a little more complex, especially if you want to play with other musicians. Well, how do I play with other musicians? I'm not even a musician. Maybe some of you are saying, how am I going to work with other people? Well, okay, we're going to have to learn. We're going to talk about it. We're going to communicate. We're going to learn different practices, how you can communicate with other musicians. And what I want to emphasize hugely is that anybody can do this. It can be so simple. You could literally play a kirtan with one chord. A lot of the music that kirtan is like literally one chord. So you can just have 2 notes that you're playing on your harmonium, or one chord that you're strumming on your guitar, and you could literally create a song like that. I've created songs like that. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha on Saraswati Dreams, right? You may have heard that. It's a very popular song. One chord, the whole song. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha, Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha, right? That's it. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha, Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha, Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha, Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha, Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Look, I don't even need an instrument. I just need to snap my fingers and sing. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha, Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Look, you could be the first person to just start an a cappella kirtan group. All you do is a cappella. That's it. Nothing else. You just, you could start a whole new thing. You could do bottles. You know how there's people who can do bottles, buckets, anything. The sky is the limit. There's no, limit to your own personal creativity and your personal inspiration. So what's so important is we tap into your inspiration. What's your calling? Because that's the biggest thing. Each one of you has your very important piece to share in this. And that's what I would love to tap into with you. That's what I'm so inspired these days to like really help you tap into all this, because I've done it, and in so many ways I've like my dreams of doing this has, in certain ways, it's like kind of been fulfilled, and I'm still doing it. I love to do it, but it wanted to change. I felt the calling within myself to, like, I wanted to change. I wanted to support others in a different way, in a new way. And I've really just been so profoundly moved by particularly working with one-on-one. Groups is amazing too, but working with people one-on-one has been so profound because I can really just tinker, like, hey, let's adjust the voice in this way, or hey, let's just adjust the music in a certain way, and boom, blossom, 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 inspiration, confidence, and wow, it's just been game changer. So that's why I'm doing this webinar with you all. This is my calling that I feel is the next step. Part of the next step of my journey is to be of service to you all. And I really hope that you will take me up on that, one way or the other. Take me up. Here I am. I want to be of service to you and in your calling, and let's go from there. So, like I said, we got the Kirtan course. That's an option. I'll send you guys a follow-up email on this. Work with me one-on-one. The Sedona Bhakti Yoga and Kirtan training, September 25th through October 1st. I would love to have you guys there for that. And then the last thing is, if this is like totally your thing, gung-ho, let's do a 3-month project. Let's do a 3-month journey where we like really just take this practice to a whole another level. I'll send you more information about that for pricing and all that stuff, but I'm going to give you a super deal, right? For attending the webinar, I want to give you guys an amazing deal, and I would love for you to come, okay? So I'll send you the information with that in a follow-up email, and I hope to see you guys. I hope to be in touch, and I hope to inspire you on this journey. And now what I would like to do is just close, and if you have any more questions, I'll be here. So thank you again so much for spending this hour with me, and I really hope that this was helpful for you, inspiring for you, and let's be in touch, okay? Namaste. Okay, 1 second.